And now, another Rock 95.5 Top 5 podcast.
Let's go.
Welcome. All right. I'm Walt, and I'm with the entire crew. The entire staff of Rock 95.5 is here. And today's question that we will ponder is, what's the best no-skip album? You can't put this thing on without listening to the whole thing. And everybody's got one. Everybody's got good ones, from what I understand. But I don't know what they are, and I'm going to try to guess what people's are before they deliver them, all right? So we're going to start over here with Michael.
Whoa, Michael.
Michael's going first.
So you're going to try and guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm going to guess
I can see your lips already. Yeah.
Pearl Jam 10.
That's the one. That's the one. A home run. A great album. Damn near every song on that ended up being a single of some sort. Launched the
Absolutely.
band. Incredible album. And yeah, that's my top to bottom.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, obviously, it's a great record, right?
Yeah.
So many great songs. I mean, there's songs on. When I think of Yellow Ledbetter, which wasn't on the album, became the B-side of Jeremy. They cut that song from the album.
That's how good that album is.
That's my point.
We're cutting amazing songs, which now they close almost every show with. It's legendary among Pearl Jam fans. Pretty exciting. Yeah. Love that record.
So, well,
I would like to say one thing about that record. No, I love it too. I think many of us, myself included, I can't remember the last time I went start to finish on it. It's been a long time, but it is great, and it's a testament to the band when if you're cutting a song like Yellow Ledbetter, that is in hindsight nuts.
Yeah.
However, before they dropped the record, they didn't know if it was going to hit.
right.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. Isn't that amazing? You probably know this, Walt. You probably made songs, and then later on they're more popular than you thought they'd be.
100%. Well, there's actually like little bits and pieces of songs that you write when you're like just starting out, and then suddenly that vocal melody becomes a song that's a hit. You never know. So
Incredible. Seattle, Washington, Pearl Jam, 10.
10. All
He's
right.
got to
That is
stop talking about Pearl Jam. He's clearly predictable.
all right. Steve Styles.
There we go.
I can hear myself, but I can't hear anything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, you're a hard book to read, man.
I am.
You always come with the most incredible stories, and I'm just gonna let you go.
This is I was unable to hit the skip button on this one because I was forced. I was in a position where I was riding my bike. It was a CD that got stuck in a Walkman. It fell off, and the skip button got sealed off, and I couldn't open the CD player. So I was stuck with a CD player. It was a Sony Walkman. I think it was a yellow one, and so no skip.
So obvious, like literally,
Forced.
literally no skips.
Yeah. But it was
Wasn't the yellow one supposed to absorb shock a little bit
G-Shock,
more? Yeah.
anti-skip technology? BS. Anyway, completely. And they went off to make some great songs for the video game Crazy Taxi on Dreamcast. Offspring. Americana.
Ah,
I love that you brought that up.
but that is a good record.
It is. It is.
At least he got stuck with a good record as opposed to like something that was awful. So
Got lucky.
what?
Nothing. Nothing. When he brought up Dreamcast, I'm like, that got your attention right away.
Yeah, I was ears perked because I figured you were going with Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Ooh.
But, yeah,
That was a big one.
those are just.
I
a lot
love
of
your
jams.
knowledge.
Yeah. It's a lot of useless
do.
stuff. Yeah.
The conversation you guys had on the morning mosh pit this morning was just awesome. Talking about all the games and reading the texts and like.
You know what, Maris? If you put down the video games and picked up a guitar, you'd have more sex.
You know,
For real, though. And grow your hair and get some boots. And a bike.
there's something really sexy about a woman that plays video games, though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So-
Oh, man, yeah.
Maria Palmer from the Morning Mosh Pit.
Hi.
Got get that adjusted just right?
I'm a little smaller than the other people here.
Okay.
All right, what's your guess?
I'm going with My Chemical Romance. Welcome to the Black Parade.
No, that was definitely in consideration, though. No, in a similar vein, it is Fall Out Boy from Under the Cork Tree.
Oh, okay. All
That
right.
is one of those albums that I think I know this because I listened to it yesterday all the way through after I sent it in. I know every single lyric on that album because of all the nights in my room with my boombox on listening to that with the lyric packet in hand,
Right?
flipping through and having an immersive experience.
Great lyrics on that record, though.
Incredibly
Pete
good.
wrote some great stuff.
And what I love about Fall Out Boy too is they really, we can't say they started a movement, but they were kind of very centered in that pop punk
Yeah.
era of that time. So you also have Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco on that album. William Beckett from The Academy is also on that album. Well, they were just doing like background vocals, so they're not even really credited.
But it's one of those things where the scene kind of comes together and supports everybody. It happened with the industrial scene in Chicago back in the day. So it's like it happens when it's a legitimate scene like that. And
Yeah.
it definitely was. So that's definitely cool.
Emo Kid for life.
I got drunk with Pete Wentz 2005 at a party in New Trier.
What?
Yeah. He was creepy back then, too.
I probably had a better chance back then.
Does anybody remember when Pete Wentz was on MTV Cribs?
No.
No.
His house was this modern house in LA, and he had like brand new skateboards all over the walls, pretty hip and modern. And then he had like a Bentley out front.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him when I was in Jacksonville, and I was like, "Hey man, MTV Cribs." He goes, "Yeah, that was all the setup."
I believe that.
Really?
Well, I
Which
think all
bums
of it
me out
was.
because I thought for sure, like, holy crap, all these people have awesome designers, but I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that it was all set up.
It's all one, the same one.
They
Then they work for MTV.
Fair enough.
They'd lie to us on the television?
Wanted to be true.
Ah, this is why radio is the most trusted medium.
All right.
All right, Walt, what do you think?
Guaranteed human.
That was good.
I'm going to guess for Klinger, you're going with The Cure, Disintegration.
Oh my God.
No.
Dramatic.
I will spill the beans.
That's a great guess, by the way, for
That
Klinger.
is one of my honorable mentions.
All right.
And I love that record so damn much. I'm actually going in the opposite direction, meaning a record that was dropped 4 weeks ago on Friday.
Whoa. What?
And it is this band's
Oh, I know it is.
it is this band's 8th record, and they called it 8, and it's 65 minutes of music with 18 songs. And Brent sent me the record about 4 months ago and said, please don't
Talk
share
about
this.
a flex. Oh my God. No big deal. He texted it to me.
He actually did text it to me. And he said, hey, don't share this, but I want you to hear this. And I listened to it while I was cutting grass and doing yard work, and I was like, holy shit. Because I feel like Shinedown's 8. I feel like they keep getting, like many of the bands that we love, keep getting better. And it is unbelievable to me that you don't have to skip anything. There are different genres. There's a song on there called Young Again, which is about playing in the cul-de-sac and just being kids and staying up late. And it's like every lyric and the songs with them are so damn relatable.
Well, I've heard, I've listened to the record a couple of times, and the thing
Did Brent
is,
send it to you?
he did not, but I was actually in a room where he played it for me earlier before it was released.
I hate you.
in Vegas.
In Vegas.
All right, guys, put
But-
them away.
But
All right.
Lightsabers down.
Boom.
but on 8, there's so many different styles.
There is.
And they kind of cover all the bases that they've evolved to throughout their career. Just celebrated the 18th anniversary of Sound of Madness. And they have, all these different sounds, hard, soft, and everywhere in between. Searchlight on this one harkens back to all of their influences growing up in Florida, in the South. So great records, got all kinds of different styles in there. I could totally see how that's a no-skip record.
I just love it because it is brand new and maybe not necessarily on the radar. But again, the very first time, I didn't skip. I listened to them all. And I love the fact that they are, Eric Bass is producing.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's stepped into his own, hasn't he?
and this is what, their third record that they've done at his place in
with him.
Charleston.
For those who don't know Eric Bass, he is the bass player for the band.
And keyboardist. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a
He
multi-instrumentalist, but
it's funny because you can watch them play and you go like, you know what? He is the John Paul Jones of the band. He's the guy that keeps it all together.
Yeah.
The glue. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So good one. All right.
That's a great
Chet
choice.
Baxman. I'm gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Getting into position. This one's short.
Is that what that is?
It's gonna be some like B-rate hair metal band that I've never heard of. but I'm going to guess The Darkness.
Oh, that's a good choice.
That's a real good choice.
But you're wrong. Picture this: urban decay, coal-smoked buildings, bombed-out areas. The time was 1970. And there was this band who was going to change everything. And on a day that was both tragic and euphoric at the same time, September 18th, 1970, Black Sabbath released Paranoid.
Ooh.
And changed my nipples forever. Tony Iommi.
Got him pierced.
The darkness of it. Pat Capone, you want to tell us about the tips of Tony Iommi real quick?
So Tony was working there in Birmingham. That's a very blue-collar area. You could think of it like, Gary, Indiana in a way. So he's working at a sheet metal, a press that comes slamming down, and he had his finger. It was his last day, too, man.
Figures.
And he wasn't supposed to be doing the job.
I'm not
OSHA,
even
look
supposed to
out.
be here today.
Oh, the horror. And he smashed the tips of his fingers off in the press. Bam! Crushed him. Now, most people would never be able to play again. And in fact, I knew a guy that did the same thing, a bass player, and he never played again. They were just too tender, and he tried. Tony did some cool little tricks, melting plastic bottles and creating kind of like fingertip condoms so he could just play. But one of the coolest things he did was taking banjo strings. You couldn't buy extra light guitar strings back in those days, but Tony was smart. He's like, well, these are thin for banjos. I'll put those on my guitar. So not only did, by detuning and kind of being out of tune, to be real, like it's not really even in a proper key when you listen to that. You have to retune your guitar. But he basically ushered in the whole era of thin guitar strings, all based on the fact that he slammed his fingers in the press. So what could have been a disaster actually contributed to the sound of Black Sabbath and to
The launch of heavy metal.
and to what most guitar players are still using today when they play guitar, the ultralight strings.
I mean, when you think about like all the riffs that he is
Oh, yeah.
credited for being the grandfather of guitar riffs, it would be different if he was probably
Yeah.
super fluent with his fingers.
Right, sure. Or he didn't have to detune in order to make them less tight
Completely
to push
different.
down, right? And the fact that his fingers were tender slowed
Just
him
think
down.
how happy Korn would sound.
Twisted Transistor would be a little bit of a bop, actually.
Didn't they? They recorded that album live, right?
Basically, yeah.
Like everybody was in. Ozzy was in a different booth. And
You'd
then
be
they just
surprised how many of your favorite albums were recorded with all the guys standing in the room staring at each other, And I think there's something to that. I think there is a magic to that. But mostly it was money motivated, right? You only got so much money. You can only afford so much studio time. If you're going to track one day, you got to mix the next at best. And that's pretty much what they did.
And like many great albums, there's always one song away, right? They were minutes away from finishing.
Yeah.
I should have said that differently. And so they needed another song. And they're like, okay, we got to get something. And so the band left, and Tony was just left in the studio messing around, getting his riffs going, and then he created Paranoid just within 30 minutes.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Def Leppard has that story with Pour Some Sugar on Me, where that was the 12th song added to the record because Mutt Lange said, we need one more, and everybody was at lunch, and Joe Elliott had, I got this thing I've been working on. Song came together 3 hours later.
There's
Isn't that
countless
amazing?
albums like that.
Yeah, I love hearing that story. The other part of it is if you lean on like we do to all these songs that we love so much, if you lean into it, the other side is there's a smidge of saying, well, in a way, that kind of sucks because they just did it in 30 minutes, and this has been my anthem. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a way.
My best work is quick.
But I'm telling but I think there's something to simple sells and don't overthink it. And if you work it so hard, then it's not as true and honest and genuine. I mean, you can, there's plenty of cases where you work it and you finally get it right, but a lot of times the best songs just flow.
And then the other part of this, and I'll shut up, and thanks, Mr. Capone, for telling that story. I listen to Pat Capone at night. He teaches me things. On that same day that the album was released, Jimi Hendrix passed away, that same day in Kensington, in London. So the tragedy of losing a guitar icon and then the beginning of the metal movement all in the same day is actually kind of haunting.
Wow. What day was that?
September 18th.
September 18th. A moment of silence for...
That's it.
Everyone got really sad.
And we're done.
Jimmy's been gone a while, guys. Everyone calm down.
All right.
Anyway.
Good record. All right. So now we are moving over to my right, and we're up to Maris.
Yeah.
Come on. From the Morning Mosh Pit. Going with Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
I would be wrong.
But a great guest. You know these
Yes.
people
No.
well.
He does.
No, it is very accurate. That was the obvious choice that I avoided. But I went with Deftones' Diamond Eyes.
Oh.
It was one of those where the title track just pulls you in immediately. And I don't know why, but when I was first hearing that song, I always thought of like a Bond villain. This was their scene where they were making their approach into the movie. And it was just something very sexy with the Deftones album. And then it just all this raw, I'm about to run through a wall moments on. And it's got this great flow to it. And I know when I was rolling around in my Chevy Cobalt, no ACs in the crank windows, that was one of those albums that it was in top 10 rotation for a very long time.
I was in a band called Crank Windows.
I smoked something called Crank Windows.
We all have.
Nice. Deftones. Good pull. I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't either, man. You've been guessing good, Walt.
Well, until now, because
Oh, I can't wait for this.
dude, man, I
Too many choices,
He's
right?
an enigma.
you are an enigma. Bob Gnarly, your own records.
Oh my God, no! Of all of them, that's the worst. Oh my God, has anybody ever heard any of them?
Absolutely not.
Okay. That's all I got to tell you right there. I recommend Shape-Shifting Vagina as an entry song.
Wow.
That
As an entry song.
or and then finish up with Show Me Your Tits.
Finish?
Which is a 6.5-minute banger.
Is this going to happen Saturday night this weekend, Steve?
Are you sure it's 6.5 or is it like 4.5?
It's 6.5 of nothing but great rock and roll. I highly recommend it. So, all right, what's your guess?
You're
You're going to give up. You're not going to even try?
Can I
Not
guess?
even going to try.
Yeah, I want you to guess.
Jethro Tull.
Oh, wow, really? No, definitely not.
Weird Al Yankovic.
I love Weird Al. Man, he puts on a great show. I think Weird Al's live
does put on a
concerts
great
are
show.
some of the best you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Surprising even, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Costume changes, the whole band, everything. So this was tough. And what I like about this, what we're doing today, is the idea of a whole album. On the Vinyl Vault, which I do Wednesdays at 9 o'clock.
Nice plug.
Look at the plug.
Oh,
Thank you.
God, get over yourself.
There you go. Thank you. That was
Are
much
you
more
on the
solid.
station?
I know I should try harder, probably. So we do album sides a lot. And I used to judge an album by if you could get a good album side, right? It was half of the album, right? The idea was it's hard. You don't want to. So many albums, we'd go out to buy something. You'd save your money, right? Whether it was a CD or an album, depending on your era, whatever. And you'd get, it cost you a lot of money. You're making $3.15 an hour, whatever it was. And you'd come home and you'd have one or two good songs on it.
Yep.
That was the worst. And I mean, I think the industry kind of suffered from that in a lot of ways. And so when you could get a whole album side, where you would just let the needle flow across. You didn't have to get up and move it over. I hate that song. That was a big deal. But now a whole album, that's even harder. But what I love about it is, and by listening to everybody's choice this afternoon so far, I noticed the same thing. It's not an album of nothing but hits. Nobody picked an album that was solid hits, like Aerosmith's greatest hits or Green Day's greatest hits.
No, that's cheating.
Right. But even some albums are just chocked full. Well, 10 certainly had a lot, but even there, it's not an album full of hits. When we pick an album we like, it's like we forgive those songs that it's not based on hits. Right. It's based on the whole vibe. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And there's so many great albums like that. Man, I had a hard time picking which one am I going to do. It was funny. I kind of agreed with our buddy Axe Chapman on Black Sabbath, and I had a list. I sent him a list. Look, we could do any of these.
It's Chap Axman, you douche.
Axe Chapman. Axe Chapman, Chap Axe list.
None of us recognize that mistake except for you.
Anybody who buys their hats at the Halloween closeout store is an issue on this station. I'm just going to say it.
You hate to have an axeless Chapman, you know?
So the one I picked is one that I still find myself listening to a lot, where I can put it on and listen the whole way. And it's not perfect. There's not a lot of hits on it, not what we would consider. I don't think it revolutionized any industries or anything of the type, but it is important to me because I discovered it by accident. I didn't know who Ozzy was. I had no idea. And my buddy picked me up in his dad's old Mercedes. It looked like something the Nazis would have. It had flags on the front and the badges. It was freaky. I'm like, we're going to a concert in this? He goes, yeah, it was diesel. You had to hold a plug in to get the damn thing started. And we rode up to Alpine Valley to see. And I go, so who are we going to go see? He goes, some guy named Ozzy. He used to be in another band. He's supposed to be pretty good. And I'm like, and as the idiot that I am, I went, who, Ozzy and Harriet? Thinking of some weird show my mom or my grandmother made. I'm like, Ozzy and Harriet, what are we going to go see? All right, whatever, it'll be fun, man. And Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads, Blizzard of Oz tour. I was blown away. And it's truly probably one of the reasons I work in rock radio today. I remember seeing that and going, oh, I need to be a part of that for sure.
Now we know who to blame.
Ozzy and Randy Rhoads. But for me, as a guitar player, and I had studied classical and jazz and rock and bluegrass and country and folk, I studied all kinds of different music. And when I watched Randy up on stage combining classical and blues and just melding it all together in this just explosion of guitar sound and the whole concert experience, still to this day, when I put on Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz, man, that's just an album where I can let it track all the way through. Even the simple song like D, which is just a little classical piece of Randy sitting in the studio that he dedicated to his mom. Is it a hit? No. Is it a banger? No. But does it make for a perfect cut on a great album? Yeah. And
It creates the vibe. It's part of the vibe.
Right, and that's what I heard from everybody's choice today. Was every album had a vibe. It wasn't just a list of bangers, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that is one of the most important things, which is why I think sequencing of a record is one of the most important aspects. I mean, the song's important, yes, but also the order that they are placed.
Like, I don't even know how
for
long
you to
that
consume.
would take, dude.
You know, it's like what song, and it's there's a science to it, because back in the 90s when CDs were introduced and we had listening booths in record stores, people start at the beginning, so you wanted to have those first 3 songs be the hits so that people would go, oh, I'm going to buy that. Nowadays, doesn't matter so much.
Right.
But in vinyl, it didn't matter. But when you had the listening booths, it changed the science behind it. So sequencing does matter, and
Absolutely.
Because it creates the vibe.
And that makes me think of one of, album I almost thought of. We can talk about it later, but like AC/DC purposely didn't allow their albums to go to streaming and digital because they spent so much time, which is kind of weird. It's not like Welcome to the Black Parade, a rock opera, but the band was so into the order of their songs and they wanted you to listen to it that way that they're like, oh no, we don't want them to just listen to one song on streaming. It took them a long time. They were one of the last guys into the pool on that.
Yeah, they are. It's interesting talking about this because we are, in Stabbing Westward, we're about to reissue. We've re-recorded Wither, Blister, Burn, and Peel, our second record. But, and so it's coming out soon as Wither Rewired. We've approached the songs as we would do them today.
Nice.
So every song has, yes?
Withered Rewired. You trying to kill DJs?
No.
How are we supposed to say that a lot?
Red leather, yellow leather, withered, rewired.
See, there you go. So it's going to be, but we've changed the sequence of the album. So, because in the day, it was in the 90s where people were, we did it for listening booths, what's going to grab people's attentions. And then it kind of felt like the back of the record was kind of like filler. But now we've kind of put it together in a way that makes more sense thematically with the songs and obviously the vibe. So it's interesting that it'll be interesting to see how it's received with the different order, let alone the songs changed a little bit.
That's really cool.
When's the release date?
Yeah.
We don't have one. We just got the masters back yesterday, and it sounds banging. It's
So,
awesome.
real quick though, let's talk to since you brought it up, one of the reasons why you did that. I mean, I'm sure it's financial.
No, actually, no. I mean, like the Taylor Swift thing. I mean, that's a real thing. It's
No, right.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Is everything okay at the house?
why give the record company from 30 years ago the money when somebody wants to pick it up for a sync or a stream or whatever licensing that's going to come about? So why not redo it yourself? But we decided, why would we do it the same way we did it?
Yeah.
Why? Which is what Taylor Swift has done.
Exactly.
Well, let's do it the way we would approach these songs today. People love the songs. We love the songs, but there are things about them that we're like, well, that sounds kind of like the 90s that isn't really who we are today. So that's the main reason why we did it.
I like that. So it wasn't completely financially, but you got to love the fact that now you'll have those masters, right?
They are. They do belong to us.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's good.
So I like your artistic reason.
Are you going to put Walt's version by all of them?
DJ Walt.
There you go.
Who wants to guess Walt's pick?
Oh man.
You can't because you already know.
I can. The first Gin Blossom record. The first Papa Roach record?
My wife would be happy if I did choose Gin
Poison,
Blossoms.
open up and say
I say Pretty Hate Machine.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Downward Spiral, maybe.
No. Yeah, nobody. No. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here.
Get out. Excellent choice.
You talk about an album with a vibe.
Yes.
It ends with the song that starts with, and then they just throw like such incredible songs like Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar in the middle, Wish You Were. It's such a great album from start to finish. Shine On You Crazy Diamond is just epic and glorious.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a vibe. You put it on, and it just takes you all the way through. Even Shine On has got all the different passages and ebbs and flows. So for me, that's one that I put on, and I just walk away, and I'm happy.
And a good choice. And and that was a band that really they approached an album that way.
Right.
What is this album going to sound like? How is it going to progress through the story?
The concept album definitely was a thing for them.
For sure.
So I know it was tough to come up with these albums because there's so many good ones on the docket. So anybody else, any honorable mentions they want to toss out there?
The Black Parade was on my list.
Okay.
Sure.
So was Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, also My Chemical Romance. Paramore, Riot, also a phenomenal album. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill.
Oh, God.
Up there. I could keep going
Right.
forever.
Klinger?
Appetite.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
I love that also. It's their very first record, and it's probably like
I mean, that's another one that we've done on the setlist question. What's the best debut album?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
How do you right? That's for sure.
That's a good one. That's
the other would be for me Led Zeppelin 2.
There you go.
Led Zeppelin 2. Okay.
That one in particular because that was my introduction to Led Zeppelin. Ramble On is my all-time favorite, but I love that record, and it probably has a lot to do with being a little kid with an older brother who
that helps.
Broke into his room and listened to some records, and that was one of them, and I'll never forget that.
I like that you
record.
lived the concept too. Ramble on, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Maris?
So yeah, obviously Linkin Park's always gonna have no skips for me. Reanimation is probably
That's
one of the
that's
bigger
your
ones. That's the one because you get the remix of all of those songs, and then there's the songs that weren't released, and you get so attached to them. And we finally got the re-release a little bit later, but those really just stick out in my mind. And then Ice Nine Kills with Silver Scream and Silver Scream 2, just a thematic album. Front to back, and the theme carries through. And then I think it's one of those ones where I listen every time, and each song I find something different that they're doing within the song to make it match the horror movie that the song's themed after. And it's just mind-blowing how much they really cram into all of their music.
And shout out to Spencer and crew. They have the #1 song in rock this week.
Do they? And they deserve it, man. And I love the production techniques that
Yeah.
they apply. It sounds so great.
Any honorable mentions for you?
You know what? Look, we could go down a list that's a mile long, and I agree with Klinger. Like, couldn't we just really honestly say any Led Zeppelin album?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
pretty much.
And we could pretty much all the older Pink Floyd albums, right? Like maybe we could miss a couple of the,
Adam Hart,
afterwards.
Mother, I could probably do it.
Right, yeah, right. There's some fun stuff there, man. But and the one thing I noticed is, we brought up a lot of albums that don't have a lot of production.
Yeah.
No,
That's a good point.
No optimizations, no, vocal tunings. We heard a lot of albums that were really raw, And once again, not chocked full of hits, just something special that resonated with us. And I think there's a message in that you don't need to always just be trying to write the hit.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a huge point. Is that sometimes a good album needs to have depth.
Yes.
And it needs to have something to counterbalance a hit.
Yeah, we didn't hear anybody. Think about, I made a joke about Poison, but how many hits were on that stupid album?
Right, a lot.
Right. Nobody, we laughed when I brought it up. Like, no, dude.
All right, we've gone on a long time on this. I'm going to toss out Pretty Hate Machine. I think that is definitely fantastic. Talk about debut albums.
Yeah. What about Tool and Nima?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So this has been awesome to go around the table. I love discussing music, obviously, and I especially with a room of people like you guys.
It's a
you
fun
do too.
group of people to talk about this shit with.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoy listening to these podcasts. We're going to do another one next month, and be sure that you like and subscribe and do all the stuff you do when you do these podcasts on the iHeartRadio app. It's another Rock 95.5 Top 5. We'll catch you next time.